Our LSA-powered 68 Olds now runs and drives, and we've dyno-tuned it to make an astounding amount of power. The only thing left to do now is to drive it and see if we've achieved the goal of adding power and drivability. I really like driving this car for a lot of reasons. The GM A-body platform is one of the nicest driving muscle cars when it's set up properly. It does everything you could want. And with the supercharged engine, it is an animal when you put your foot to the floor. And the really neat thing is that you could drive this thing around town and not know that you have that much power until you put your foot down. And it just goes crazy. And although this power comes on pretty radically when you put your foot to the floor, it's still controllable because you can always back out of the throttle if the rear end starts to get squirrely, which is very easy to do. But it's amazing how much power this supercharged engine makes and how quickly it makes it. It almost feels like it kind of stores up boost as you drive, and when you put your foot down, it just hits like a sledgehammer. I mean, the power level just goes through the roof instantly. So now you have a car that looks great, it drives fantastic, and it makes all the power you could want, has the air conditioning to keep you nice and cool, and the engine with the overdrive transmission is still pretty efficient. It's going to get decent gas mileage unless you've got your foot down all the time. Well, the ultimate goal of this project was to build a cross-country cruiser that still looked like a late 60s Oldsmobile, but had modern performance, economy, and comfort. And this thing, it's perfect. It nailed everything. The Connect and Cruise LSA kit is rated at 556 horsepower, but as they proved at the dyno, this one actually makes more than that at the wheels as installed in this car. So the big question is, how does this engine make a lot more horsepower than it's supposed to? Well, in this particular installation, we've got an air intake tube that's much more efficient than the air intake tube that this engine was rated with. And we also have a much bigger air charge cooler to remove the heat that the compressor puts in. So that's the biggest thing in a supercharged engine. You got to keep that air cool, and this thing does a tremendous job with this oversized heat exchanger that we've installed behind the grille. We also have a much more free-flowing exhaust. Instead of having 4 mufflers plus the catalytic converters, we only have 2 mufflers on this thing and a larger diameter mandrel bent pipe system. So the air flows real easy in and out of this car. Now in our shop, we just did the engine, transmission, and the air conditioning upgrade in the car. It already had a Hotchkis TVS total vehicle system suspension kit on it with tubular control arms, bigger front and rear sway bars, a stiffer rate spring, and a good shock absorber. And it handles wonderfully. It's still nice and comfortable because it is an Oldsmobile, but it corners flat, and it's got a Hydra Boost brake system with Wilwood brakes at all 4 corners, so it stops really, really well. Don't be surprised if you see this car on the open road on a Hot Rod Power Tour event or other cross-country trip, because this guy is going to drive this thing till the wheels fall off. And with the amount of power it makes, it's going to be a fun ride doing it. We've got a full build thread and photo gallery of everything we've done to this Oldsmobile on our website at v8tvshow.com/LSA442. We invite you to come check it out, and if you want one of these for yourself, you can contact us there and maybe we'll build you one.